So I bet some of you guys know this, and I bet some of you don't, but before there was a Start Peninsula, there was an event that was really a first of its kind on the south side called Start Norfolk. The man that you're about to hear was the founder of Start Norfolk, and his name is Zack Miller. I've had the pleasure of knowing Zack for 7 years. I actually met him at the very first Start Peninsula, and it has been such a pleasure to see Zack's career grow as he has become really sort of an icon or maybe even a local celebrity in the business startup community, as well as a true valuable asset to that community here in Hampton Roads. Zack is an entrepreneur, an author, internet personality, and self-described mayor of Hustle City. He has over 2 decades of business experience in starting, investing, advising, mentoring, and growing hundreds, actually thousands, of companies or projects. After his own successful pursuit in entrepreneurship, Zack launched Hatch in Norfolk. This really put him on the map in terms of being an expert in the startup community here. I remember a few years back, he was actually named to Inside Business's top power brokers in Hampton Roads for his work in this community. Zack believes that everyone should control the path to the future that they desire, and he is on a mission to provide the ecosystem whereby entrepreneurs can really thrive here in Hampton Roads. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our keynote speaker tonight, Zack Miller.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
How y'all doing? A couple weeks ago, my wife and I bought a brand new house, and we have a dog. And one of the things that my wife really wanted us to do, and myself as well, was to put in a fence. And about 8:30 one night during the week, I hear a knock at the door. Now, I order a lot of things on Amazon. My wife orders a lot of things on Amazon. I'm like, it's probably just a package. I was like, all right. Then the doorbell rings again. And I was like, all right, this is weird. Let me answer it. And there's a guy standing there. I'm like, oh, he's going to have cupcakes and welcome me to the neighborhood. Nope. He was with a local security company trying to sell me something at 8:30 on a Wednesday night. How many of you have also had someone come to your house and try to sell you something when you were just trying to do that grunt work, put your kids to bed, or something like that? What was interesting is I respected the guy's hustle because he was going door to door to sell something. That's really freaking hard. And I told the guy, look, we already have a security system. I appreciate your hustle, but I'm not interested. He then continued to try and sell me over and over and over again. And I was like, look, man, I get it. I appreciate you, but I already have a security company. Actually, there's a stake in the ground that says that company there, and I'm watching you on their app right now too. The problem is that we see this all the time. If it's not your security company, it's your local cable company or your internet company. You see, all of us want to be different, but what do? We copy the scenarios that we go through, and we're pissed off at it. Over and over again. Why would you copy the scenario that you complain about to your friends? If you want to be different, you have to be like the blue duck. You have to stand out. I believe you actually have to do 180 difference than whatever you normally see. How many of you guys been to a Chamber of Commerce meeting? Who stands out at a Chamber of Commerce event? They all look the same to me, right? Snorefest. You know, in all truthfulness, I wasn't going to use the local Chamber of Commerce, but then this picture was so prime and perfect, I had to do it. But this is what I feel like when I'm at an event like that. There's nothing that stands out. Instead, Jared Leto, he stands out. Everyone's wearing suits, but he looks so much different than everyone else. I don't know if you realize this, but we see over 5,000 different ads each and every day. I'm going to say that again. We see 5,000 different ads a day. I'm 17 right now. The person sitting next to you is another 20. This event is a walking, talking billboard, and that's great. But what are you going to do when you keep seeing ad after ad after ad? That one's a good ad. Keep going and going, right? We constantly see ads. And most of the time, we're not in the mode to do anything with it. So what do I think you should do? Just say hello. It's a crazy thing to think, but you're probably talking to someone who's not ready to buy anyway. Studies show that it takes 5 to 7 steps, 5 to 7 positive steps to convert someone the first time they see you into a customer anyway. So why are you going to try and be like that security guy and sell me on the first date? It doesn't work. Data doesn't lie. When you meet someone, it could be because you were just holding the door. You guys might think I'm crazy. Maybe these are things that our parents instilled in us, but we definitely forget how to say hello to people. How many of you guys talked to anyone that you didn't know before Friday this weekend? I'm sure there's a few of you who haven't. But when you go to an event, you have to stand out. Make sure that you say hello to as many people as possible. Be friendly. When you talk to them, don't just say, hey, what do you do? Because that's what everyone does. My favorite, what are you watching on Netflix right now? Right? Any Stranger Things fans? We could talk about this for days. Right? You're building that real connection with someone. Instead of the, hey, just buy my security system or upgrade my internet. That's not really what people want. Instead, invest in that relationship building. And when you're done with meeting someone, reach out to them with a handwritten card. When was the last time any of you guys got a handwritten card from someone? I see half a hand, which shows to me that no one does this. But when you get that card, you're like, man, that is different. I met this guy 3 years ago. We hit it off. I enjoyed talking to him. And I wrote him a handwritten card. The card says something illegible because I did not pass handwriting class in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Then I got a typewriter. Then the internet came around. And then I failed keyboard. But basically it says, hey, Mark, awesome to meet you. Looking forward to your success. It can be that simple. What's interesting is a few weeks ago, Mark got his first copy of my book, Anomaly. And since then, every weekday, he's been reading 2 chapters and unsolicited going on LinkedIn and posting a video of his review of my book. I didn't go up to him and say, hey, Mark, why don't you every weekday for the next 41 days do a video? If you can create super fans of people who have basically only given you $17 once, I mean, it's an incredible thing. So Mark, right now, is, well, tomorrow through Friday, he's got like a week left, we'll be creating another chapter review of my book. It's just insanely powerful. Winning is easy. Winning is really easy. But most people quit. Most people aren't willing to put in what's necessary to win. Sometimes, when you're going through a scenario, you have to get through and be tenacious and resilient. But winning is easy. It's about doing the really small things that everyone else says doesn't matter. How many of you guys are on Facebook or LinkedIn? My guess, everyone in the crowd. So when it's your birthday, you feel great. You get 50 to 200 messages from people you haven't talked to since high school. You don't like them anyway, and they say, "Happy birthday, Zack. It's so great." And then you never hear from them again until your next birthday, right? Look, this is a safe bet. A safe bet is just going to their page and saying, "Happy birthday." On LinkedIn, you don't even have to type it out anymore. All you have to do is click a button that says, "What do you want to say?" What do anomalies do, though? They don't make safe bets. They take risk. They pull out their cell phone and they shoot a video to the people they have their cell phone numbers for. My friend Chris's birthday was recently. And I pulled out my phone because I have his cell phone. And at a stoplight, I stopped, and for 12 seconds, I pulled out that bad boy and I said, "Hey, Chris, happy birthday, man. Love ya." I didn't say the love you part, but it added a little bit of oomph to the story. And then I sent it to him. And what does he say? "Nice touch." That's what anomalies do. If you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the same results. If you want to stand out, do something to stand out. When you're looking at the scenarios in your day-to-day lives, look at what everyone else is doing and figure out a way to do it better. But do it better at a one-on-one rate. Don't try and bulk it and make it super simple so that you can be like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to email 1,000 people, happy birthday." That custom touch is so important. I have this theory that it's really easy to meet people as well. I call it the fraternity of podcast guests. It's really just connecting with your alumni. The thing is your alumni doesn't just have to be the school that you went to or the soccer team that you coached or things like that. It could be content providers or podcasts that you like. For example, I, about this time last year, was on the Blind Entrepreneur Show. I then, after I was done, scrolled through the list of the 300, that's probably a lie, 120 episodes at that time, and I reached out to at least 80% of them, introducing myself, saying, "Hey, I saw that we are connected because we both were on this podcast together. I just want to say hey." Occasionally, I might have an opportunity to put them on my podcast, but really I'm just introducing myself. What kind of data points do we have behind that? I don't know, something like 85% people respond. Just because I found a similarity. Then I have Alex on my show, he was on mine, and this past week, he writes an introduction to someone else, unsolicited once again, that says, basically, Zack Miller is the most authentic person he's ever met. So you can do what everyone else is doing, which is safe and it'll probably get you to where you want. Then you'll be mad, you complain to your friends on Facebook about why your life isn't going the way that you want to because you're doing some things, but you're doing what everyone else is doing. And that's why you're not standing out. I believe we should be trying to create lifelong relationships. And actual relationships. Not just, I'm going to meet someone and hopefully they buy from me. No, real, tangible relationships. Did you know that most people are changing careers every 4 years? So what happens if you get them that one time and then they go to a different career? Are you going to be able to keep that relationship going? Well, if you were like everyone else, probably not. But if you focused on the long journey of lifelong relationships, I believe you have a better chance of succeeding. You see, when people go to shopping malls or on Amazon, their wallet is out, their credit card is out, they're ready to buy. Most people are not in a buying mode. Most people are not ready to buy, even though you have something to sell to them. So how do you start doing this yourselves? You have to create a habit to want to just say hey, to be the anomaly. One way to do this is thinking about how to train others or how to train yourselves to deliver in a specific way. You want to do and think about creating new routines. One of my favorite YouTube shows does this very, very well. Hot Ones by First We Feast. Sean Evans is the front man. They eat 10 progressively hotter chicken wings while interviewing celebrities. And the questions get hotter as the wings do. How many of you guys have ever seen an interview show and like, man, I've seen this interview a million times? What do anomalies do? They do things differently. Same type of thing, interview show, but they do it in a way that gets people drunk on chicken wings, and they get amazing questions. So much so that they just surpassed 4 million subscribers on YouTube, which, if you're not familiar, is a lot of subscribers. But one thing, other than just being Anomaly, that they do very well, is they release their content on the same day each and every week at the same time, so they train your brain to tune in at that certain time. So whether or not you watch the Today Show at 7 o'clock every morning, or you tune in Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Hot Ones, you're training someone's routine. My good friend Tim has done this in a way that is absolutely ridiculously incredible. This is just like 40-ish days of him running at least 2 miles a day for the last, I don't know, what seems like 16 years. It's only 4, but it's impressive as hell, right? What you realize when you start creating these habits that happen every day is that they just become natural. So instead of you thinking right now for the next week, oh God, I gotta say hello to people, when you just get to an event, guess what? You just say hey. When you walk through the door somewhere, you hold the door because you've trained yourself to create that new routine, right? We've been taught these things before, we just allowed ourselves to get out of these habits. If you wanna be the anomaly, you have to do things that are different than everyone else. The decision is yours. You can sit back, be at an event, and do nothing, or you can say hello. I thank you guys for your time tonight. Would love to open up for any questions that you guys might have.